Hello everyone. In this session, we'll be discussing action buttons and basics of JavaScript. Okay, there are various ways to create clickable buttons. User can create clickable button using input tag by setting its type attribute to button. Let's see how to do it. I've just taken the same example, same previous example, which looks like this. It has got some controls like text boxes, text area, check boxes, and few more. Okay, for this, we are going to add some action buttons. Let's see how to do it. We have already discussed these things in the previous video. For this, we discussed that we have to use input tag, and we have to set the type attribute to button. Let's give a name to it. Name, let it be btn. It's just a naming convention. Button, okay. Then value, let the value be okay. Okay. Let's see how it looks. So this is how we add a button to a web page. Let's see how it looks. Let's refresh the page. Okay, this is how it looks. So a button is created on our web page. So setting the attribute here, we have set the attribute, we have set the type as button. This means this creates a button that is used to trigger a client-side script when the user clicks that button. Okay, we'll be discussing all these things in detail in the same video, but a bit later. Okay, this is a simple button. Next, let's see another kind of button, action button, where we'll set the type as submit. Let's give a name to it. Name. Okay, and let the value be submit. Value is nothing but the text which will be displayed on the control. Okay, what this does is type, we've set the type as submit. This creates a button that automatically submits a form. Okay, let's see how to do it. Let's save it. Let's see how it looks here. So let's refresh the page and we'll enter some data here. Okay, after this submit button, it says it automatically submits a form. Okay, this is used to submit the details. Okay, next, let's see another one. We'll say input type is equal to reset. Name, we'll just give it as btn set, value as reset. So this resets. So reset, this automatically resets form controls to the initial values. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, see reset button is there. Just observe, when we click this, it automatically resets to its previous initial values. Okay, did you observe this? Okay, this is about action buttons. Next, we'll be discussing basics of JavaScript. Okay, let's understand what a script is. A script is a small piece of program that can add interactivity to your website. We have already discussed that HTML is just for displaying and there'll be no interactivity with a web page. Okay, whereas we can use script to add interactivity to any web page. For example, a script could generate a pop-up alert message box or provide a drop-down menu. Okay, then you can write various small functions called event handlers using any scripting language, and then you can trigger these functions using HTML attributes. We'll be seeing all these things in practical. Okay, now let's understand what a JavaScript. We know a script is nothing but a small piece of program to add interactivity to any web page. Now, what is a JavaScript? JavaScript is a dynamic computer programming language developed by Netscape. Okay, and it is an interpreted language, not a compiled language. Okay, a program such as C++ or Java needs to be compiled before it is run. Right, the source code is passed through a program called a compiler, which translates it into bytecode that the machine understands and can execute. In contrast, JavaScript has no compilation step. Instead, an interpreter in the browser reads over the JavaScript code, interprets each line, and runs it. Okay, next. JavaScript provides user interactions with users through form elements such as buttons and menus and can be conveniently described in JavaScript. Then, okay, JavaScript supports DOM, that is Document Object Model, which enables JavaScript to access and modify any element of the document, HTML document. And next point is, even without forms, user interactions are possible. Okay, and it's quite simple to program in JavaScript. Then one of the most common uses of JavaScript is to check the values provided in the forms by users to determine whether the values are sensible. Okay, when invalid data is found, it means when you enter some wrong data in the form, right? That is the values entered, the values which you enter in the form. Okay, that needs to be checked before it reaches the server. Okay, when invalid data is found, the server must transmit that information back to the browser, right? Since this process is time consuming, we can perform input checks at the client side itself, which saves both server time and internet time. Okay, next, there are two different ways to embed JavaScript in HTML documents. One is implicit embedding and explicit embedding. Next is implicit embedding. In this, you can write your script code directly into your HTML document. Usually, we keep script code in the header of the document using script tag. Otherwise, there's no restriction and you can write your source code anywhere in the document but inside script tag. Okay, let's write a very simple script code here. Script goes inside the header tag. Let's see. So this is a simple basic structure of HTML file. An HTML file. Head is there, body, and inside body form tags are used. So script should go, as we discussed, script can go inside header tag. So we'll write within head there's one title element, and after that we're going to use a script tag, script, and uh, we have to specify the type of it. So we have to specify the type. We have to specify the type here. We'll set it as text, and as it is JavaScript, we'll just mention it as JavaScript. Um, close the script tag. We'll write a small function. Okay, we discussed that small functions called event handlers. Okay, so we have to write functions. we'll write a function like this. Function, a simple function named hello. Just say alert the world. Just written one function named hello inside our script tag. Where is the script tag? It is inside the header tags. Now, inside form, let's add one button. Type equal to button. We said that we'll be discussing later in the video. This is the one. Button. Button. Okay. Then let's give value as click me. Okay. Just give it as this is a button. Then we have to. So this is we have added a button to our form. How does our form look like? So there's a button in the form. So what we really need is on click of this button, an alert box should be popped up. Okay. So how do we do it? We have a function. We have written a function, but we have to link this with this. How do we do that? Using an attribute called on click. So on click of this button, and on click of this button, this function should be triggered. Okay. So here is how we do it. We register it with this attribute. Okay, here we'll just use the name of the function. On click, what should happen? This function has to be triggered. So we'll write the name of the function. Okay, this is how you register. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's refresh the page. And on click of this, a alert box comes up. Okay, hello world. This is a very simple JavaScript example, and this is implicit type. And next is explicit embedding. If you are going to define a functionality which will be used in various HTML documents, then it's better to keep that functionality in a separate JavaScript file and then include that file in your HTML documents. A JavaScript file will have an extension as .js and it will be included in HTML file using script tag. Okay, this was implicit. Let's see how to use an explicit JavaScript file. So as of now, what we're going to do is we're just going to comment it. Okay, we'll comment this function and we'll create a separate file for this function. So how do we do it? We'll just take a new file. Okay, we'll just take a new file. We'll save it as dot java. As this is JavaScript, we'll save it as JavaScript. Okay, we're just going to write this function. For that function keyword, function name, simple alert message, alert, hello world. So our function is in a separate file. So how do we use this? How do we trigger this function on click of this button? For that, what we do is We have commented this. Now we have to give where exactly, as this is an external file, we have to give the source, the path for it. So source is nothing but js1.js. Okay. So if you don't give this, let's see. We'll just remove this and check. Control this and just save it. Okay. We've commented the function. We've commented the function here, so it will be ignored. So on click of this button, what happens? Nothing happens. Okay. Now what we do is we'll just give the source of that. Source we'll give it as js1.javascript. In this JavaScript file, we have written this method, and on click attribute, what are we calling? We're calling this hello function, and this hello function is inside this JavaScript. Let's see now. Save the file and refresh the file here. If you refresh, this will be triggered and alert boxes shown. Okay, this is a simple external file, external JavaScript file. One important thing, a JavaScript is interpreted when the browser finds the script in the body of the HTML document. Okay, the window in which the browser displays an HTML document is modeled with the window object. It includes two properties, document and window. Okay, window object includes two properties, document and window. Document is nothing but HTML document, and window is nothing but self-referential, where the browser displays the document. Okay, two properties, document and window. Next, the method write is used to create the script output. Let's see how to do it. If you can observe here, we have commented the script functions like this. Internal scripts are been commented like this. Now I'm going to comment this. This is an external script, so I'm going to comment it like this. Okay. Now we're basically trying to use a method called write, which gives us the script output. Let's see now. Let's write. Okay, what is this? Have I commented it? Okay, I've just commented it here. What are we basically trying to do here? I'm just commenting the script, and I'll start writing another script type JavaScript, and I'll write a method here saying function display variable, say num is equal to 500, and write method, right? So document dot write will say value the value of num is num. This is the variable. We'll give this here. Now we're going to create another button. Line break. Just use the same thing. Button display, and click on this. Let's give it as display. click of this, which function are you going to call? We're going to call display function. Okay, so what should happen? There's a script. Inside that there's a function called display. You have declared a variable called num whose value is 500, and you're using write method to display the value of num. The value of num is num. Okay, and on click of this you're calling display method. So what should happen? On click of this button, the value of num should be displayed. Okay, and click of this, the value of num is 500. Okay. Next, window object can be used to create new windows and dialog boxes. It includes the following methods. First one, alert, confirm, and prompt. Let's take them one by one. First one is the alert method. Alert method opens a dialog window and displays its parameter in that window. It also displays an OK button. Okay, let's see how to use alert method. Okay, for that, let's use this button. We'll say alert message. We'll just give the value as alert message, which will be displayed on the button. Alert message, name, alert. On display, okay, on click of it, let's see what shall we write. So let's write another function. A function. Let's give alert message. Okay, and let's give what shall we write? Alert. We've already used it. Alert. See here, we've already used this alert method. Okay, a simple alert will show this message. Let's try using some other things. Say we'll just we'll declare variables. Then is equal to, we'll add these two things, a plus b. Then here we're going to use the sum is c. Okay, see what happens. So alert message, we have declared variables. Then we're going to call this message here, this function here, alert message. Alert message as in triggering alert message. Okay, okay, the sum is 30. Right, this is an alert box with one OK button, and this is the parameter which is passed, and it's a simple plain text. It's a plain text. Okay, next one is confirm method. Confirm method opens a dialog window in which it displays its string parameter along with two buttons, OK and cancel. Confirm returns a Boolean value that indicates the users button input, true for OK and false for cancel. Let's see how to use it. Confirm method. Okay, we'll again use this same button, but we'll change the name value confirm. Confirm. Change it as confirm. On click of it, will change. We'll write another method here. Okay, what should we write? We'll say we'll write another function. Function confirm method. In that, we're just going to say equal to confirm, and the parameter what we're passing is, do you want to continue? Okay, it's a confirmation text. So confirm will have two buttons, OK and cancel. And if it is true, OK, the choice will have true. If the user has clicked cancel, the choice will be false. Okay, let's call this method here confirm. You have to use the same name method. Okay, let's refresh the page. Confirm. See, do you want to continue? And this is the one. We'll say okay. And next one is the prompt method. Prompt method creates a dialog window that contains a text box which is used to collect a string of input from the user, which prompt returns as its value. The window also includes two buttons, OK and cancel. Prompt takes two parameters, the string that prompts the user for input and the default string in the case where the user does not type a string before pressing one of the two buttons. Let's see how to use it. I'll use the same input button. Font. We'll change the name of the button font. On click of this, we're going to write another function for this. So it will take two parameters, right? First, we'll just give one parameter, that is the prompt message. enter your name. Enter your name. Okay, so the user enters, this prompt method will return the value entered by the user and saves it in name variable. Okay, we'll just call the same method here, which is a prompt message. Prompt message. Okay, let's refresh the page. Where is it? Confirm. Input type button. Haven't received it. We've saved it. Input type button. Value prompt. Name for on click. Prompt message. On click prompt message. Refresh. Where is the prompt method? Okay, we haven't closed it. Okay, now let's refresh the page. Where's the prompt message? Okay. Okay. So this is the prompt method. There's a text box and two buttons. Enter your name. Okay. Now we said it takes two parameters, right? What we're going to do is we're going to add another parameter here. ABCD. So this will be the default value. Even if the user doesn't enter the name, that way the value will be by default. Okay. You can use different selection statements like if else, switch cases, then loops like while loop, for loop, all these things in JavaScript. A simple example would be like this. You can just call this method. We'll use the same one line. There's a very simple example to show the if statement. Method name is largest. Can click on this. It's not getting triggered. Type button function largest. Okay, let's execute it. I'll click on this base largest. Okay, base largest. We have used alert method.